welcome back to another episode of the BJack 70 Show. I'm your host, Brandon Jackson, and we're here on another Tuesday, another Takeaway Tuesday. And I got a lot to talk about, a little bit to talk about a lot of things. Got to recap Brandon's bets. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed the football over the holiday season. We got more coming up this week. College football, NFL, all weekend. Um, we'll get into a bunch of football talk. But before we do, just want to say thanks for watching. Since you're here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and then if you're feeling frisky, hit up the description box and go subscribe on Spotify. The video and audio of this podcast that you're listening to right now is on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, then this video and audio is on YouTube. So whichever one you want to listen to, whichever one you want to watch, either one is fine. So appreciate you being on either, but would love if you would subscribe to both. But with that being said, let's just get into it. A lot to talk about. Let's recap Brandon's bets from last week, and whew, not a great week. Not a great week. Another 1-4 week, and the only time I go 1-4 is when I'm betting on Shedeur Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns get the win. Both times I've sacrificed the other four bets in order to get that Shedeur Sanders win, that Cleveland Browns win, and it happened again this week. But let's get into it. Brandon's bets came out early last week, and God willing, I never do it that early again, because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I didn't feel great about a lot of it. Was unsure about a lot of it. So far out from the games. Like, I recorded on Tuesday night. But that won't be an issue, because all the games are on Saturday and Sunday. We know which ones matter. We know which ones don't. So Brandon's bets will come out normally, like it does on Friday, later this week. But real quick, let's go ahead and recap what happened last week. The Lions -7.5 at the Vikings. Terrible. Jared Goff, ass. Jahmyr Gibbs, ass. Jameson Williams, ass. Vikings, great. Brian Flores, amazing. Kevin O'Connell, super. Max Brosmer, meh. But Vikings got the win. Vikings really dominated that game. It's terrible. It was a terrible showing. Whatever. You guys saw it. It was on Christmas. Everybody saw it. It was terrible. The Packers -2.5 against the Ravens. Ravens showed a little bit of heart. We'll be talking about the Ravens later on in the video, so won't get into a lot there. But the Packers, it was what it was. They came out hot, came out firing, but still got down. Defense let them down. Malik Willis got hurt when they did have a chance in the game. Even then, don't know. Even if they did end up winning, don't know if they would have covered if Malik Willis was still in. And it was the wrong side. It was the wrong side. Had the Jags -6.5 at the Colts. They won by 6. They were down. They were down double digits, I believe, against the Colts. I didn't really see any of that game, but it is what it is. They came back, got the job done, whatever. But that lost. The Browns +3 against the Steelers, as you probably know, kept the Steelers from clinching the division. They won outright. I am not going to talk any Browns in this video, all the Browns talk will come out in a separate video this week. Give you a little extra video this week. Not going to be on Takeaway Tuesday, not going to be in Brandon's Bets, but in between there, don't know exactly when it'll come out, but you will get a video talking about the Browns, Shedeur Sanders, maybe a little bit of, the draft position debacle and all that. But everything Browns related is going to have to be in its own video because there's too much to talk about, too much to say. And just like Dylan Gabriel's fiance, I have thoughts. So not talking about them there, but Browns won. That was the 1-4 this week. And then the Panthers looked like absolute trash at home against the Seahawks. That one's on me. That was just a bad pick. I saw it wrong. I thought they might have had a chance. It was close early for a little bit. Seattle broke the game open. Bryce Young didn't do a damn thing. But it is what it is. 1-4 week, but still 48-37 on the year, on the season against the spread. 1 week left. We're gonna finish it off strong. But we'll get into all that on Friday with Brandon's Bets. But yeah, 48-37. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm seeing all across the internet way less than that. People under 500. Not really doing it right. I'm doing it right over here. 48-37. That's good. That's good. So that being said, moving on from the bets, let's talk real football, real NFL football. And like I did last Tuesday, I'm just going to talk a little bit about a lot of things, just stream of consciousness, and we'll keep it going. Keep it going that way. First thing I want to talk about, Brock Purdy. Actually, we'll group them together. I'll talk about Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams. What I said last week, Brock and Caleb, from what they've been showing, that they've graduated above they're included in a group that have graduated above their peers, and they are really playing like top level of the league quarterbacks right now. Purdy, we've seen it already. He's been in the Super Bowl. He's gotten MVP votes. He's done this before, but he had kind of been a little bit inconsistent, been hurt, but now he's back healthy. He's back balling. He's showing against all odds that he is in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the league. And Caleb, in his second year with Ben Johnson, with some of his weapons out, still showing that he has that juice. He's showing the number one overall prospect type plays that we expected to see out of him coming out of USC. He's showing that talent. He's showing that big playability. There's some things, again, every quarterback has this. There's some things that he can clean up still. But the highs are the highest they could possibly be. They're everything you imagine when you take a quarterback at number one overall. Caleb has given you that. He's showing you those flashes, and they're becoming more consistent. He's becoming a more consistent quarterback, and we love to see that. We love to see great players. We love to see quarterbacks evolve and get better and get better and get better. Unless you don't like the quarterback, then even if they keep getting better, some people still don't want to see it, in spite of their mistakes. They make mistakes, but people still don't care. Sorry. Don't mean to bring it up. That's going to be in a different video. My bad. I apologize. Hand up. But getting back to Caleb, Brock Purdy, that game on Sunday night was incredible. Niners won 42-38. Both sides, both offenses cooked. Um, Caleb had a chance to win it at the end. Just came up that short. Um, but it was an incredible game. Um, at this point, I wouldn't want to play either of those teams in the playoffs if I'm in the NFC. I don't want to face any offense that is this hot. Because how do you stop an offense that's this hot? How do you stop Brock Purdy going out there scoring 5 touchdowns, no George Kittle, no Trent Williams on the field, throwing to the ghost of Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey taking every single carry that he possibly can handle on his body. I like Kyle Shanahan deserves Coach of the Year credit, and he might get it because the Niners might end up with the 1 seed. Um, I wouldn't want to play them, and I wouldn't want to play the Bears either. Caleb, his skill set just presents so many different problems for a defensive coordinator. Colston Loveland, rookie tight ends really don't flourish like this. He has come on at the end of the year. Luther Burden, if he's healthy, has been a godsend for this team. He's been playing excellent. He's broken out as a rookie at the end of this year. Cal Monungai and DeAndre Swift running the ball hard, efficiently. We'll see what Rome Odunze looks like when he comes back. DJ Moore, I guess, is just there if you need him. He wasn't needed on Sunday. He was needed for my fantasy team, but he wasn't needed for the Bears on Sunday. I mean, I guess you could say he was because they didn't win, but offense produced without a lot of DJ Moore. It was all Luther Burden. It was Colston Loveland. There's not enough praise that I can heap upon both Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Bears offense, Niners offense, Bears offense. Those defenses leave a lot to be desired. Don't love that they gave up 38 and 42, but I mean, I'm just gonna give the credit to the offense where it's deserved. But speaking of those two teams, talk about real quick a team that's kind of struggling and stumbling their way into the playoffs, and that's the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, they need to get Josh Allen healthy. And that's not to say that they lost that game on Sunday because he wasn't healthy. He just wasn't able to make enough plays to get them the victory. Even though they were right there, the play was there to be made. It was just an inaccurate pass, which Josh Allen has done on few occasions at the end of games like this. But I don't think that was because his foot was hurt. So, but nevertheless, Bills need to get Josh Allen healthy. They need to figure out weapons on offense other than James Cook. Khalil Shakir not getting it done. Their best receiver on Sunday was Brandon Cooks. Like they need somebody to step up. They need Dalton Kincaid to get healthy. They need Dawson Knox to step up because as funny as it sounds, and we love the meme, the edit, we love Cam Newton talk about Keon Coleman. I love cookies, and you supposed to be our number one, but you're playing like a bum. We know it. We know what we're seeing, but Keon, like that, Cam Newton said that about Keon Coleman, that he needs to step up, not just because he was trying to be funny, but because it's true. The Buffalo Bills, he's supposed to be their number one, but he's playing like a bum. It was like it's so funny because it rings true. And you see a game like that on Sunday. They just needed one guy to step up and make a play in as a receiver, and they just didn't have a guy on the field that could do it. What does that mean for them heading into the playoffs? I don't know. I don't know. I think I think the Bills go into the playoffs as the 6th seed because the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh already said the Chargers are going to rest their starters. Trey Lance is going to play, and they play the Broncos, who need the game to get the number 1 seed. So I think the Chargers will lose. So I think the Bills, if they go ahead and handle business and beat the Jets, walk into the playoffs as the 6th seed, and most likely that gets them a game against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. I know the Bills probably look at the field and they think that they could go into any one of these other teams' houses and beat them because they have the best player on the field. And with how James Cook has been playing this season, they might think they have the best 2 players on the field. And it may be true, but the rest of their team is not playing up to the Buffalo Bills standard. They really need guys to step up. They need guys to step up. I mean, the defense played well against Philadelphia. Philadelphia didn't complete a pass in the second half, but how much of that is the defense and how much of that is just ineptitude from Philly's offense? Because strangely enough, this isn't the first time that we've seen Philadelphia not complete a pass in the second half this year. It's already happened in 2025. So who's to say that Buffalo just played a good game on defense in the second half when we've seen Philly already is capable of that much ineptitude already on offense. So who knows? But speaking of playoff teams, who do you guys believe in going into the playoffs? Because I asked myself this question: who do I believe in going into the playoffs? Do I believe in the Rams? The Rams just lost to the Falcons. They were down 21-0 at halftime. They tried to come back, couldn't get it done. It just wasn't enough. They've lost. They've struggled. They haven't played well. They haven't played their best. Matt Stafford, I thought was the MVP. I thought it was going to just pretty much be. I didn't think he had it necessarily wrapped up, but I thought that it was a foregone conclusion that he would be the 2025 MVP. And going out and losing to the Falcons may have taken that away from him. Drake May beat the dog shit out of the New York Jets on Sunday. Who am I to say that award isn't his? Who am I to say? But apart from Matt Stafford, Rams has got to focus on getting Devontae Adams healthy. They got to get Alaric Jackson healthy because obviously we know the talent that they have. They have receiving talent, Kyron Williams and Blake Corum in the backfield talent. Their defense has been good. So I like they have a championship pedigree. They have won a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford, with Sean McVay. Before this game, I would have said I believed in him, even with the loss last week. But now I'm like, now I don't know. Do I believe in the Bears? Do I believe in the Niners? I personally, when I watched that game on Sunday, I and it just might be my bias against what I believed Brock Purdy to be, but I feel like I trust the Bears more than I trust the Niners at this point. But there's really no good reason for me to believe that. Niners have been balling. Niners might be the one seed. Who am I to say I don't trust the one seed or believe in one seed? So I'm gonna ask you guys who do you believe in the NFC? I I can't call it right now. I'm gonna go Bears, I guess, out of the teams because I don't believe in Philly. Philly's offense is broken. It's broken. When they need Jalen Hurts to be the quarterback that everybody says he is, the quarterback that I ranked him as before the season started, when it's time for him to be that, he's nowhere to be found. They did not complete a pass in the second half on Sunday. I can't believe in that team. I just can't. I definitely don't believe in whoever wins the NFC South. Absolutely don't. Absolutely won't. You can't make me. And then Green Bay. I picked Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl, but that doesn't feel right either. Even with Jordan Love coming back, the defense let Derrick Henry do dastardly things on Saturday night. I can't in good faith believe in the Packers. So who do you believe in? Oh yeah, Seahawks. I don't believe in them either. You you won't make me believe in the NFC South team, and you will not make me believe in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold will have to hold up the Super Bowl trophy on February 8th or 9th, whichever one it is. And I think it's February 8th. Sam Darnold will have to be on my television screen holding up that trophy for me to believe it. Until the clock hits 0-0-0 and the Seahawks have won that game, I won't believe in Sam Darnold. I will not do it again. You can't make me. So I don't know. I don't know. My answer is who do I believe in the NFC? I don't have one. In the AFC, do I believe in the Broncos? No, but I very well could be proven wrong. The defense is excellent. Bo Nix has been playing much better as of late. So I don't necessarily believe in them, but I might not necessarily bet against them either. New England, this is Drake May's first go around. He's a second year. This will be his first playoffs. They're good enough for them to have real expectations going into these playoffs. Um, I believe in Drake May. Do I believe in the Patriots at large? I don't know, but I can sit here and say today I believe in Drake May. Jacksonville. I want to believe. I want to believe, but I'm scared. I'm scared to get hurt. I want to believe in Jacksonville, but I'm scared to get hurt. I want to believe this is real. I want to believe Trevor Lawrence has turned a corner. I want to believe all that, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of commitment to somebody who has shown floozy tendencies in the past. The you, I'll leave it at that. Everybody else, Chargers, I don't believe in. Chargers will have to prove me wrong. Whoever wins the AFC North, I I don't believe you can't believe in either one of those teams. You can't believe in the Steelers. because they lost to the Browns when they needed the game. They lost to the Browns, and the Ravens can't really believe in them. We don't even know if Lamar is going to play. Is Lamar coming back? They had the Ravens had a lot of fight in them on Saturday against the Packers. Do they have another one of those in them? We'll see. Can't believe in Buffalo with how they're playing right now. I definitely believe in Josh Allen. I definitely know Josh Allen can get it done in the playoffs because he has, and I believe he will continue to be that great player in the playoffs. But I mean, who knows? Who knows who can let him down in that receiving room? Who knows what could go on that defensive side? Who really knows? Again, AFC. Who do I believe in? Who do you believe in? Who does anybody believe in? We have no idea. At the public at large, we have no idea who is going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to get there. We don't know who's going to be in these championship games. It's it's an exciting time in football, pro football. Anybody, it's up for grabs. It's a jump ball. It's the old school Vince McMahon XFL. Roll the ball out there. Whoever fights for it gets it. Whoever ends up with it gets it. That's who's going to win. That's how the Super Bowl is going to be won this season. So I don't know. But let me know in the comments. Let me know who you believe in, who you think's a contender, who you think is real. And yeah, so we'll move on, and I'm just going to talk about these few games, these 4 games. I think are the 4 most important games of this last Week 18 NFL weekend because there's a division division championship on the line or seeding on the line or both. So Panthers Bucks Saturday at 4:30. There's a possibility the Buccaneers don't get in the playoffs even if they win on Saturday. If the Falcons win on Sunday, no matter the outcome of that game, the Panthers get in because of the tiebreakers between Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Atlanta will overtake Tampa Bay as the number 2 team in the NFC South, and the Panthers will, by virtue of a 3-way tie, get into the playoffs and win the NFC South. If all 3 teams finish at 8-9, obviously if the Panthers just win, they're in. But if the Bucks win, all 3 of those teams finish 8-9, then the Panthers get in. And for your information, the Falcons play on Sunday. They play the New Orleans Saints. So, that rivalry, anything can happen in that game. A bunch of crazy shit could and probably will happen in that game. But yeah, we'll see if we're paying attention closely to that game after Saturday. Because if the Panthers win, then that's it. So, but I'm really thinking about the spread on this game is Bucks -3. I have no idea which way to go because both of these teams put up putrid performances in their games on Sunday. Baker threw 2 picks. Bryce Young had 54 yards passing. I think Max Brosmer had more yards passing than Bryce Young. It was just a nasty weekend for the NFC South. I mean, I guess I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to see if Baker Mayfield blows it on national TV in front of everybody. in front of God and everybody. I'll laugh. I'll get a good kick out of it, but I'm looking forward to that game. So we'll see what happens. I have no real feel yet on what side I'm gonna be on. So that we'll probably talk about that more on Friday. Seahawks Niners, they play Saturday night. This game is for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. If the Seahawks win, they're the 1 seed. If the Niners win, they're the 1 seed. If the Niners win, the Niners are the 1 seed and the Seahawks will be the 5 seed. If the Seahawks win, the Seahawks get the number 1 seed, but the Rams still could be the number 5 seed over the Niners. So depending on what happens, so let's say Seattle wins Saturday night. The Niners have to pay attention to Rams versus the Cardinals on Sunday to know if they're the 5 seed or the 6 seed, which is huge because the 5 seed gets to go play the NFC North, or excuse me, the NFC South winner. So that's a huge swing. You could potentially have to go to Philly or you could have to go to Carolina. Everybody in the league would rather sign up to go to Carolina or to Tampa Bay over going to Philly and playing that team in Philly. Even with their messed up offense, bad quarterback play, they would still rather go to Carolina or go to Tampa. But that game's on Saturday night. It'll be very entertaining to watch. I'm gonna be locked in on that one. And then moving into Sunday, like I said, Rams versus Cardinals. The Rams can still get that 5 seed if the Niners lose, but they'll know what they're playing for, or if they're playing for it by the time they kick off. But regardless, Sean McVay has said that the starters are going to play in that game because they've lost a couple in a row. McVay said they need to play better, and I agree. They need to play better. They need to get into a rhythm. They need to not be limping going into the playoffs. They need to gain some momentum headed into the playoffs. So that one does mean a little something. And then of course, we got the Ravens versus the Steelers, Sunday Night Football, last game of the year for the AFC North division crown. Winner gets in, loser goes home, loser leave town match. We will talk about this one on Friday in Brandon's Bets. I'm gonna leave it at that. Not gonna get into it. I'm gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger, on a teaser. This game will be in Brandon's Bets. I've talked a lot about both sides. I've talked a lot about the Ravens. I've talked a lot about the Steelers. This game will be in Brandon's Bets, so don't worry. We'll talk about this one Friday. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for sticking around. Like I said before, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I would appreciate it if you went on over to Spotify. Click the link in the description box below. Go to Spotify, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. Helps grow the channel, helps your boy out. Trying to do big things going into 2026. But appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for rocking with your boy in Brandon's Bets. Like I said, programming reminder, the Browns and Shedeur will get talked about this week. That'll be its own separate video. Either one of the middle days of the week, either later Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll be out. And then Friday we'll be back with Brandon's Bets. So until then, appreciate you guys. And until the next video, I'll see you.